Good morning from beautiful, isolated, rural Lower York Peninsula, South Australia. Come with me for a walk through my veggie and fruit trees. I've grown 3 different varieties of grapes. On a trellis. I've never liked this orange tree. It's very small. It's about 7 years old, and it's always grown upright. So this year, for some reason, I left the oranges hang on to the branches, and it's pulled them down into a vertical position, the weight of the oranges, which is what I want, to give ground cover. Much like the lemon tree, where it's flat and manageable. This lemon tree gets fed from the water from the main rain water tank via a pipe, poly pipe. I mulch this every year or two with compost. It produces lots of lemons. Rainwater tank. Apple trees. This is there's abundance of fruit on this apple trees. So there's 3 here, 3 different apple trees, and the 6th year it was overabundant. It became clear to me that this was just too many apples. So this is a Granny Smith, and the apples would appear on here in clusters, maybe up to half a dozen or 7 or 8, and I've thinned them down to 1 apple, 1 cluster, probably 75% of all the fruit I've picked off here. Thinned out, and give them space of about 4 inches between the apples. This is the next tree is Red Delicious. I've done the same for here. Whenever there was a cluster, this normally doesn't have a very large amount of apples on it, but they are Red Delicious. These ones are fairly large apples. So done the same thing with this, and what would this be, about a little bit smaller than the golf ball size. And in addition to notice, there's 4 to 6 inches of chipped wood chips. It's mixed with all sorts of leaves and everything to break it down, so which is supplying nutrients. This is a double graft, and thinning that it became obviously this is the 6th year it became the first year with overabundant. This is a double graft, a Granny Smith to the right and Golden Delicious to the left. It became obvious to me that there was just far too many, probably up to 1,000 apples on here, and which I think even with 75%, that's thinning down to clusters of 5, 6 or 7 apples to a cluster. I'd thin them all out and just leave one, and just space these out 4 inches. And as you can see, there's still, with these trees, there'd be hundreds of apples here. I want you to listen to the background with isolated rule. All the birds singing this morning. Cockatoos. Let me duck through the garage here. This is another grapevine. It's quite tasty. I've had to do remedial work on this. The wood, it gets shown out at the local tip. They come and pick it up and pile it up. This is some cactus type plants that were here when I first built this place about 8 years ago. Doesn't need any water, produces and very aesthetic appealing. Purchased wine barrels and washing machine tubs and quickly planted them into here. I forgot these were here. These are garlic that I pulled out. They need to be stored. Some flowers that I've been growing in the border. There were 2 of these pine trees, Norfolk pines. These are monstrous trees. I've had to girdle this. I need to kill it because it's growing too close to the house, the foundations. So, and although it's huge, it's spanning probably 10 metres wide or more, and it's about 15 metres tall. So yeah, it's a pity about that. So got to take this out. I don't want my foundations cracking, the root systems. Anyway, it's an Asian pear. Not a lot of pears because I don't have a cross pollinator. There's a couple of dozen in here. I do the same with the peach tree. This is a $1 million peach tree. The other word for this is called jail. And I've done the same to this, thinned them out. I probably have about 150 peaches on here. Exquisite tasting. In between these are sultanas. I had to deleaf this, so I actually deleaf the plants to expose the these are growing very abundantly. The backyard, it's so it's just the leaves. If it gets out of control, these will be standing 10-12 foot high if I didn't deleaf them and open up some sunlight to the grapes. This is nectarines. Maybe I should thin these, but I didn't. I don't thin these for some. This is a peacherine. This is the first entrance to the garden, one of two. The veggie garden is about 12 metres by 10, or about 120 square metres in length, in size, and I'm fine-tuning my gardening methods after 4 or 5 years or more, and so the first thing we see when we come in here is a few flowers and some mint growing wild, mint and parsley just growing wild. The footpath is done here to define the area of the garden and concrete borders, so I don't take dirt on my shoes into the house. These are Black Russians tomatoes that I planted about a month or 5 weeks ago, just as a novelty plant. A fence is put in here, acts as the trellis for the grapevines, 3 grapevines. This is a Walton Cross, a Sultana, and the other one I don't remember, little red berry grapes. This a bamboo frame for my climbing beans. They're already flowering. This will end up being right to the top of the frame. Climb up there. Planted out potatoes in this compost. This is about 6 inches thick here, compost. It's it's not actually, you could say it's wood chip, but it's shredded wood chip, and everything mixes into here. There's a clear distinctive difference between wood chip and what I'm using here, because the leaves and all the grass matter help breaks down the wood chip and turn into compost. It takes about, in 6 months, with a bit of water, this turns into about 60% soil. And there we go, we can hear in the peace and solitude of isolated rural, the sounds of the birds emanating, the magpies. Oh, I see from here a nest built under a transformer It's got paste straw everywhere. You see. I wonder if they've been taking it. I think. Come into focus, come on, come on, come on. I think these guys sitting on here, the magpies you can see, this is their nest. Under here. Oh, it's good to see they're populating, the magpies. This is sweet corn, early variety. A corner block as well, so I'm surrounded by 6 metre plus wide footpath, and all the hybrid planted evenly with permission of the council, and a white tipped ivy that's growing up fence pole. This is different from the ordinary type. This is white tipped. It's very slow growing. This is probably about 8 years old since I've had this here, and about 2 prunings. Italian cling peach out on the footpath. And I like to introduce you to my 4-legged companion. His name's Muttley. Handsome boy, handsome boy, handsome boy. Here's Muttley the dog. Hence the fence, of course. He will be in here digging everything up. I have to keep him out, or he will jump outside. Muttley, handsome boy, handsome boy. Just to look at you. Oh yeah. There. Do you want to play? Do you want some loves and cuddles and pats? Yeah, don't you? You want some loves and cuddles and pats? From Master? What's that you said? Huh? Yeah, yeah. Excuse me. Back to the garden. Some cucumbers here. I was just planted in a few weeks ago. What's today? The first week of December. These are growing very quickly. These only a week ago I planted. They've doubled their size. The tomatoes. This is a small patch of half a dozen tomatoes that'll grow into autumn and winter. This is early sweet corn. I expect in the next couple of weeks to be picking these. I just did a makeover of this garden a couple of days ago. A week ago, put in about 3 tons of compost, dug it into the soil. Tomatoes are they're just starting to ripen now. Of these 8 plants, there's probably about 8 to 10 kilograms of tomatoes on each plant. But ate the first 4 last few days, first 4 right ones. But what I'm trying to do here with these is to get a second tier of, if that's what I can call it, a second tier of tomatoes. For example, I've got all these here. What I'm trying to do is feed these with nutrients so that I have higher up on the tomato plants a lot of tomatoes, trying to get a lot of large tomatoes. So that's currently about 8 to 10 kilograms of up to 30 odd tomatoes per plant. I'm fine tuning this year. I'm believe that the shade cloth aids in flowering and fruiting more efficient, whereas root crops don't need it. But this protects the shade cloth, the makeshift shade cloth protects the flowers and aids the green leaf, protects the green leaf. So I'll leave these on here, these and a second crop of sweet corn that's about 4 weeks planted after the first lot, and cherry tomatoes. Sweet bite. Last year I had these growing to 10 to 12 foot tall, up to 10 foot tall. So, and they would be about 8 or 10 foot wide. This branch here with all these is about a foot and a half long, and there's hundreds of flowers over here indicating first batch here is crystal apple, and they've grown so quick over the last week. These were only just small little cucumbers, half the size of the small fingernail. Now they're don't know if you can see cucumbers, crystal apple. Another variety here, growing at different times. So, crystal baby, continental long green, and another one. There's about half a dozen in that small group of cucumbers there. So quickly it's growing, so quickly. Incredible. Making salads, cucumber and tomato salads, you know, with oil and mayo. Big bowl of it every day. More cucumbers everywhere, flowers. Anyway, thanks for coming for a walk with me through my veggie garden. I'm planting these spring onions very close together and overcrowded for specific reasons to keep them from maturing too quickly. Okay, thank you for watching. Cheery, have a good day, and I will update later.